Do you feel like you've been exiled in the desert? That you're just wandering and walking around in circles and just going around doing the same things and just not getting anywhere? If you read the Bible, you see that Jacob the deceiver became Israel, the one who struggles with God and overcomes. Abram became Abraham. Sarai became Sarah. Saul became Paul. Simon became Peter. Their lives were changed in an instant, but they had to wander for many years in the desert, exiled, before they could really enjoy the fruit of that change. Basically, that change needed to be watered, tested. They needed to experience hardship and growth. Now, I'm not talking about a literal desert. I'm talking about a metaphorical one. These guys, they were the stalwarts in the Bible. They were the forefathers. They were chosen. And yet they had to do the hard yards, just like everyone else, if not more. Joseph was exiled. He was imprisoned. He had lots of hardships before he became Pharaoh's right-hand man. Israel, as a nation, had to wander 40 years in the desert before they could enter the promised land. The pattern I see is this. We all struggle with something. Like slave, it's like we are a slave to something, to sin, to our past, to our mindsets, to the things that we're struggling with. And then we enter this exile into the desert, the place that toughens us, it improves our mental, physical, spiritual strength and our faith. It's this place where we feel like we're just struggling or going around in circles. It just feels like there is no end to it. It just feels like it's just so hard and it's just, crazy right now. But then wandering in that desert toughens us up, and that's where, like after the desert experience is when we can actually get to leadership. That's what happened with these guys, and that is true for us too. In all that time, God's favor was still upon these men and women of God. He never left them for even a second. He blessed everything they did. Whatever the mission of their lives was, God increased and multiplied. So in the Old Testament, the purpose of their lives was to basically increase and multiply as a race. So for Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, it was land and livestock and people and wealth. In the New Testament, for Peter and Paul, Jesus called them to be fishers of men. So it was people that they were gathering. Their purpose was to proclaim the gospel and to bring more people to Jesus. During the desert experience, as well as leaders, no matter what they did, God blessed them and increased everything and multiplied everything that they did, all of their efforts. So if you feel like you are in a desert experience right now, and even though it feels like you're running around in circles and God doesn't seem to be blessing anything that you are doing, if you look back on your life in the last few years, last few months, however long you feel like you have been in this desert experience, there will be something that God is blessing. You may not see it now, but you will see it in the time to come. It is a good place to reflect on your purpose right now. What is my purpose? Where am I called to increase and multiply? What are those special gifts that God has given me, and how is He leading me to use them? In the desert, we sometimes think that God is leading me to do this, or rather, we think that this is my gift and this is where I need to use it. And so quite often we rely on our own strength. But God is calling us to something, and quite often He needs us to learn lessons the hard way, to fall on our faces before we actually fall on our knees and come to Him in prayer and actually actually ask His guidance. Lord, where are you leading me? So today, I want to leave you with that. I hope you have a blessed week. Bye.